when you think you don't have the money to do it. Somehow I found ways. The money came, any money that I needed came to me in order to publish the book.
Now I want you to go, in a second, I want you to go through the steps.
Okay.
And it could be in the form of the chapter outlines or any way you see fit to tell us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But right before you do that, we're recording the show at a time when, by all known charts to man, say the country is falling and the economy is sinking and people are panicking and people are losing money and people are losing benefits and jobs and other things like that. For some strange reason, I feel like I'm on the rise.
Yes, me too.
And I mean, reading your book, getting to know you better, getting to know your art, and now your sister, and your whole attitude. I mean, we can choose to go with that slump thinking, or we can choose another way.
Yes, all of my life, or since I've been practicing the art of prosperity, when someone calls me up and says, Deborah, I've been fired from my job, I say, oh, congratulations. I understand that something is opening up. When you're fired from a job, that the door closed actually opens up to limitless possibilities. And so my own training, you can see I'm getting excited about this. My training is to not be afraid for the person. And my training is to not be afraid for the country. And that I see this as false structures crashing. And I say, let it fall, let it fall, let it fall. And we're in the fall of the year. We're at a time when the leaves fall from the trees and things become dormant. The trees aren't dead. There's life in the trees. Stuff is happening beneath the ground or within the tree trunk or within the consciousness of the country. Something is happening. And so I'm trained to not focus on what it looks like, because what it looks like is not the fact unless I believe it. And sometimes I'm surprised that even my very political, spiritual friends will say, oh, well, in these bad economic times. And I am encouraging myself to say to them, do not say that. Somebody is telling you how to think. Somebody is telling you how to feel. So when you feel panic and you feel fear, that fear gets projected into your mind, and then you see disaster, and then you create the disaster that you first felt through fear, you then created through your actions. So what I understand is that when they say that the economy is collapsing, I understand that my job is to say, this too will pass. This too is God. There is a blessing and there is an opportunity in this. And then I fine-tune my vision so that I can see the blessing in this.
Can you give us in 60 seconds? TV is TV. In 60 seconds, a little...
Well, you know what? I can tell you how sexy it is to be negative. It feels good sometimes to go, oh, Lord, this is terrible. And what I do is I understand that when I'm wallowing in fear and disaster, that I am living in my habit of limitation. So that to turn that around, I have to stop myself sometimes. And as the publisher of this book, I felt a lot of responsibility to live the principle. So in my own life, things come up and I think, oh, I want to be negative, but I cannot, because by doing that, not only am I betraying the principles in making what your means can't buy, but I'm also feeding the fire of negativity. And so what I do is I don't go there, and I stop, and I say, okay, this came up, there is treasure in this darkness. And I wait until something is revealed to me, an idea, and then I go do that idea. And then that idea leads me to another, and then it leads to a book, for example, or a relationship, which is symbolic of prosperity, or cash money. Recently, I did a book party, so I thought, okay, no, that I really can't afford. Okay, I did this book, I can't afford a party. I don't even know how to give a party because I don't cook. But as it turned out, in the process of even giving the party, money came to me. It's not always tit for tat either. By living, by deciding and intending to publish a book, by intending to give a party, the power of my intention led to its fulfillment. And whenever obstacles came up, and they did and they do, my training is to say, thank you. This
Deborah,
too is divine.
And you're divine.
Thank you. I'm practicing, La-Verne.
I see that. I see that. Making What Your Means Can't Buy by Inez Singletary. Folks, run. Treat yourself to life. Get this book. We need this, and it's so timely. We need it right now. You
can purchase it through Amazon.com.
Okay.
Or through my website. Vision Carriers. The address is www.visioncarriers.com.
Thank you, Deborah.
My joy. Thank you, La-Verne.
Thank you so much for joining us on Link.